All right, this is Mr. Barr, and this is the distributive property. And I seriously, dude, I miss having people in this classroom because the little skit that I do with this is really cool. I get like 2 chairs, and I put some people in between the chairs, and then I run up to the chairs, and I'm like going, and then I jump over the people, and I go whoa, and it's a really cool demonstration thing. But there's nobody in my classroom right now, so I can't really do that thing. Okay, but I'm still going to teach you. And we're going to pretend like it was really fun and enjoyable, okay? Will you pretend with me that we're still like learning together? Cool, okay, thank you for pretending. It's like the land of make-believe or something. Okay, so I'm in a weird chair. Let me pause my video and we'll keep going. All right, so we're doing the distributive property. Goal, I can solve linear equations in one variable. Why? Math has its own language and rules. By solving equations, I learned the language of math and how it works. Today, we're going to work with the distributive property. It's one of those skills that you're going to need for all of your math life. And by the end of this lesson, you're going to be able to use the distributive property like this. So here we go. You know what? Let's just go right into the notes. Distributive property. Start with your name and the title. And this is what the distributive property looks like. Let's go with, let me see what example I had here. Yeah, let's do this. 5x plus 7. Distribute means to give to everybody. If I had a bunch of papers and I was going to distribute them, I would be giving them out. So this 5 is going to be distributed or given out to everybody inside the parentheses. I also call this jumping the wall. So the 5 comes over and it multiplies the x, and that gives me 5x. The 5 jumps over and hits the 7, and that gives me 35. And that is distribution. 5 jumps over and hits the x, 5x. 5 comes over, hits the 7, 35. Some people don't believe me that this really works. So I'm going to prove to you that it does work. There it is, jumping the wall. I'll do it right here. Prove to you that it does work. Mr. Barr, I don't believe you. You're making this up. You're just making the math up as you go along. Not true. But here we go. So imagine that I have 7 plus 2, okay? Distribution would say this. Jump over. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 2 is 6. 21 plus 6 is 27. Now, could I also do it like this? What's 7 plus 2? 7 plus 2 is 9. And what's 3 times 9? 27. So I think I've shown that distribution really does work. Add them together and multiply, or distribute and add. It's the same thing. Do you want to multiply first or add first? It gives you the same thing either way. Now, this distribution that I just showed you is actually something that you've learned in other classes. What I really need you to be able to do is distribute fractions. Okay, so here, distribution, this would become 8x plus 20. Examples, practice, practice. Okay, we're gonna get this one into our notes, and then do I have a fraction one coming up? Please? There, okay. So let's get, I'll do a couple practice ones here. I'll do this one. Does not have to be in your notes. Right? Jumping. 3 times 4 is 12 times the x. 3 times 9 is 27. Ooh, I know people get confused. This one is going to go into our notes. It's just a backwards jump, and you can do this. (2x minus 4). So I have 3 times 2, which is 6, 6x, and negative 4 times 3, which is negative 12. So I jumped backwards, but not freaking out. When I have a negative in front, I have to distribute it just like a negative 1. So let's get this one into our notes. So I could have it as negative 4x minus 6. So that negative is going to jump the wall just like any other number. It's just a negative 1, and we don't write the 1. So negative times 4 is negative 4x. Negative times a negative, my notes say a positive. Let's go with positive. Negative times a positive is a negative 6. And then it's the same thing. Ooh, I'll do this one on the screen. So this is a negative jumping over and hitting a negative. A negative times a negative is a positive. This is a negative jumping over and hitting a negative. A negative times a negative is a positive. All right, this is the one that we really need, because you're going to do a bunch of these for homework tonight. 1/2 4x minus 8. Multiplying, oh, you can't see my notes. Bring it over there. Multiplying by 1/2 is the same thing as dividing by 2. So I'm going to put a note here, divide by 2. What's 4 times 1/2? Well, that's the same as 4 divided by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2x. What's half of 8? Well, half of 8 is dividing it by 2, so minus 4. A third. Multiplying by a third is just division by 3. So this is 9 divided by negative 3. 9 divided by negative 3 is negative 3x. Negative 3 divided by negative 3 is positive 1. Excellent. Thank you for watching this, and I'll see you later.